news that matters. Fox 40 News at 10 starts now.
A search for a body is underway in Nevada County tonight. The possible connection to a missing woman in Los Angeles. Emotions continue to run high in the wake of the shooting death of an unarmed black man by Sacramento police. And tonight, the family says their fight for Stephon Clark is far from over. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Ty Steele.
And I'm Allie Wolf in for Nikki Lorenzo. Clark's family has hired famed civil rights attorney Ben Crump. In a press conference this morning at City Hall, Clark's grandmother tearfully relived the night the 22-year-old was killed.
They didn't have to kill him like that. They didn't have to shoot him that many times. Why did you just shoot him in the arm, shoot him in the leg, send a dog, send a taser? Why?
We've already had days of protests in Sacramento, and more protests are planned for tomorrow at the Sacramento City Council meeting and at the District Attorney's Office.
And meanwhile, Fox 40's Sincere Tonsel sat down with Ben Crump tonight for a one-on-one interview. She joins us now live with what he had to say. Sincere.
Well, Ty, the video of the incident is what drew Ben Crump into this case after Stephon Clark's family reached out to him for help. And it's what he says may be their vehicle for justice.
Justice for Trayvon! Justice for Trayvon!
Florida's Trayvon Martin, killed by a neighborhood watch member in February of 2012.
Everybody forward!
Michael Brown, killed by Ferguson, Missouri police in August of 2014.
And yet, nothing has happened.
Tamir Rice, killed by Cleveland, Ohio police in November of that same year. Walking with Skittles, left laid out in the middle of the street for hours, playing with an airsoft gun at a park. Those are the details that penetrated the American psyche and turned those young black men into national headlines. The lawyer for those related to the latest name added to that tragic list, Stephon Clark, say it's a similar shock to the conscience that's gotten the entire country to pay attention to what happened to an unarmed Clark in his own Sacramento backyard the night of March 18th.
People watch that video, especially minorities, and they cringe because they say, but by the grace of God, there go I.
The video he's talking about was released by Sacramento police, the department responsible for Clark's death, 3 days after officers killed him while pursuing him as a suspect in at least 3 car break-ins. But we want to show a piece of that helicopter video. Live on Fox 40 News at 6, we asked Crump about images that police say show Clark, who they thought was armed, as a threat, running away from and then back at them. He says the autopsy will show if that's true.
We should see bullets from different positions based on your narrative. And if we don't see those, then we can conclude that you fired at a different time.
Ben Crump points to 70 times young black men have been killed by law enforcement since 2015.
Unfortunately, it's almost a cliche, the police killing black people.
Also cliche to him and thousands of others, the fact that the shooters have not been found criminally responsible in any of the cases, including the ones he's taken on. How do you give Stephon Clark's family any hope?
Well, what you're trying to do with Stephon Clark's family right now is just heal them. Justice means a lot of different things to many people. If you can prevent this from happening again in this manner, then that's a certain measure of justice.
Now, Crump has been able to win wrongful death settlements of $1 to $6 million in those cases, but he acknowledges that those awards haven't prevented more of what he says are unjust police killings.
So without a lawsuit on the table, is it your sense that Attorney Crump is just, the family is just waiting for more facts, more evidence to come to light before doing so?
I asked him several times about a lawsuit that has been the track record in these other cases that he's been the lawyer for the families. He says right now that they are just evaluating, waiting for more facts to come in, as you said, and then they'll determine how to proceed.
Okay.
All right, I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about this case. Sincere, thanks so much. Meantime, funeral details for Stephon Clark are still being worked out. We know the funeral is planned for Thursday and the public will be allowed to attend, but a venue has not been chosen or announced yet. Reverend Al Sharpton will be speaking at that service. And here's a look at 3 planned protests this week by the local chapter of Black Lives Matter. Demonstrators plan to march to the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office, putting pressure on the DA to file charges against the officers who shot and killed Clark. The marches will be held tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 to 5:30 in the afternoon. In rural Nevada County, sheriff's deputies believe they have uncovered a buried body.
This is the scene near Beale Falls. It's northeast of Beale Air Force Base. Fox 40's Nicole Comstock has the story tonight and a possible connection to a Southern California missing persons case.
It's a long drive down a rugged dirt road to the Spencerville Wildlife Area. And as the sun set Monday evening,
2 hours ago, I've seen like 2 sheriffs pass by.
Nevada County Sheriff's deputies kept watch over the remote location where human remains were recently discovered.
Yeah, that's really sad.
430 miles away in Los Angeles, loved ones pray there is no connection. But as they wait for a positive identification, a trusted source close to the investigation tells Fox 40 that the remains are possibly those of missing aspiring actress Adea Shabani. She was last seen in Hollywood a month ago. Our sources say LAPD has been in the Sacramento area for weeks investigating her disappearance. LAPD could not confirm that they were at the scene in Nevada County today. However, they did confirm Friday that 33-year-old Christopher Spots, a man Shabani was romantically involved with, led police on a chase in Southern California and fatally shot himself.
I guess he had a reason since he was like running. That's crazy.
Maxim Chisovsky was visiting the shooting range right down the road from where those remains were found. He says it's crowded here during the day.
There's a lot of like gunfire going on, really loud.
That if someone had been shot nearby, you wouldn't be able to tell one gunshot from another.
Nicole Comstock reporting. Nevada County deputies say they may need to bring in an expert out of Chico as they try to identify the body. The coroner was out there this morning, and we should have an identity of this person in the next couple days.
Thanks to a tip from a local school, Modesto police made one arrest for the reported molestation of a 10-year-old girl. Police say 29-year-old Jose Cardona assaulted one of the 5 children of his live-in girlfriend late last year. The girl was 9 years old at the time. Cardona's bail has been set at $100,000. All 5 children have also been taken into the custody of Child Protective Services. The child's mother has not been charged.
New tonight at 10, a San Joaquin County deputy is facing sexual battery and abuse charges. Those charges filed by the district attorney's office stem from a 6-month investigation that launched back in November of 2017. Deputy Danny Swanson is accused of subjecting a female inmate to inappropriate pictures and contact at the county jail. Swanson is a 16-year veteran of the department. He's now been on administrative leave since the investigation began back in November. Now to Stockton, where crews worked to put out 2 fires today. The first one was at a home on West 8th Street, which was quickly put out. The second, though, was on the second of 12 stories of the Medico Dental building. Firefighters called out more crews and had to weave hoses through the lobby and then a stairwell to put out the flames. Then they called out even more firefighters, but then canceled the order after they were able to contain the flames. Luckily, no injuries were reported in either of the fires.
New at 10, storm cleanup continues in Tuolumne and Mariposa counties after last week's heavy rain caused flooding in the area. Now 2 people are missing after that storm. Fox 40's Dennis Shanahan spoke to one of those families tonight.
Last Thursday's deluge of rain did some serious damage in Tuolumne and Mariposa counties. In the town of Groveland, some roads and driveways are washed out. Large chunks of parking lots came loose. Historic buildings that stood the test of time are in total disrepair, pummeled by the rushing water and debris.
And there was lightning and it just whoosh, but I guess rain up higher too, and it just came through here and it was pretty intense,
Tracy Massey shot pictures and video of what became a river running across the main road through Groveland.
These are from my front porch. I couldn't get out. It was all surrounded.
Everything's wet, so I can't lift it too high.
Her parents evacuated from the Detweiler fire and put a lot of priceless belongings in here, only to have many of them ruined by Thursday's flood.
It is what it is. You know, you got to do what you can do. It could be so much worse, you know, for some people.
For the family and friends of 67-year-old John Onesto, sadly, it is much worse. The father of 4 went missing in the storm. His wife Lynn is taking comfort in the company of their large family.
It's been 5 days, and with more time passing, and after having seen the carnage of the flash floods and the condition of the car, it's becoming much more unlikely that he'll be coming home.
John was driving home to LaGrange in Stanislaus County from his teaching job in Coulterville Thursday when his car was caught up in a washout on Highway 132.
When he came through it, it appears that the road gave out right under him.
The car was found about a mile downstream. John's family has high praise for members of local law enforcement who have been searching tirelessly for him. They ask that people in the area continue to keep an eye out. And from those who are so inclined, the family asks,
keep praying, just keep on praying. We can use all the prayer we can get.
And that was Fox 40's Dennis Shanahan reporting. Also missing since Thursday, 72-year-old Carol Brown of Cathy's Valley in Mariposa County. Her small utility vehicle was found tipped over in a creek near her home. An estimated 70 searchers from 12 different agencies have been looking for both storm victims. According to the Mariposa Sheriff's Office, moving forward, that search will be scaled back a bit.
The jury is out over the fate of convicted cop killer Luis Bracamontes. He has been found guilty of killing 2 local law enforcement officers. Now he could face the death penalty or life in prison without parole. Closing arguments have ended in a Sacramento County courtroom in the sentencing phase of this trial. Jurors are deliberating and could have their decision as early as tomorrow. Meantime, the Commerce Department says the 2020 U.S. Census will include a question about citizenship. The department says the citizenship data will help the Justice Department enforce the Voting Rights Act, which protects minority voting rights. But opponents say the question will discourage immigrants from responding to the census. California Attorney General Javier Becerra says the state will sue the Trump administration over its decision to add the citizenship question.
Today, President Trump once again denied that he had an affair with Stormy Daniels. This as the former adult film star steps up her legal battle with the president's personal attorney. Daniels, whose legal name is Stephanie Clifford, appeared on 60 Minutes last night. She went into detail about an alleged affair in 2006. During the interview, she said an unknown man threatened her safety if she told her story about the president. Clifford says she felt she had no choice but to sign a statement denying the affair and accepting a $130,000 payout. That happened just days before the presidential election. Today, the White House Deputy Press Secretary said the president doesn't believe she was threatened.
He doesn't believe she was threatened?
No, he does not.
What's his basis for that, Raj?
Sorry?
What's his basis for that?
Well, he just doesn't believe that, there's nothing to corroborate her claim.
And Clifford filed a defamation suit against President Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, today. It focuses on a statement he made last month about paying Clifford $130,000 of his own money as part of a non-disclosure agreement. The suit claims Cohen's statement implies Clifford is a liar.
Shares of Facebook dropped as much as 6% today. It's the worst decline since May of 2013. This comes after the Federal Trade Commission confirmed it is investigating Facebook's data protection policies. Earlier this month, the FTC learned the research firm Cambridge Analytica had accessed the information of some 50 million Facebook users without their knowledge. Privacy activists and some in Congress have called for the FTC to fully investigate whether or not the improper handling of Facebook users' data violated a consent decree. You see, back in 2011, FTC ordered Facebook agreed to certain privacy protections to users' data on their network.
Still ahead tonight, spring break tragedy.
It's one of those things you keep thinking it's a dream, and you're going to wake up and you're going to see them.
2 high school students killed in a crash on their way out of town with their families. How the community is remembering the lives lost.
Plus, an iconic figure of the American civil rights era has died. The legacy of Linda Brown of the Brown versus Board of Education case.
And it's a sky-high rescue.
Come on, Gypsy. Gypsy, come here. Gypsy, Gypsy.
How long this cat was stuck on a power pole and why a brave neighbor stepped in to save it.